Good morning. Look at that blurry camera just on time, right as we start the show. This is going to be a fun show today, guys. Wi-Fi for me right now is being really weird. So sometimes you might see my face clearly. Sometimes I might look like I'm in a pixelated movie from the 1930s. So we'll have to see how that one goes. But it's better to have my voice than nothing at all in a black screen. And I go away completely like we did yesterday. So fun stuff. We got a lot to talk about, though, even with my blurry face today, as we have Ethereum pumping up, not just to 2,000, but also approaching resistance levels that we hit all the way back in August of 2022. What is it going to do? We're going to cover that and a lot more today. There's some other big stories as well, because Twitter is going to be integrating eToro so that you guys can be buying and selling crypto right on your Twitter account. What does that mean? And also in other news, FTX just pulls $7 billion out of the couch cushion or something. I don't know how that exactly happened, but could you get some of that money back if you lost money over on FTX? Would you trust them to keep trading on their exchange? We're talking about that and a whole lot more on this show. So make sure you go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this, where we cover Bitcoin and crypto and alts. We cover the stocks. We do the TA. We cover news and help answer all of your questions so that you can be the most successful trader possible. Go ahead and smash that like button. I'm joined by two amazing co-hosts this morning that are not blurry, and I don't think they're going to get blurry. That's probably just going to be me today. Starting off with the man sitting across the desk, T-Shroom. How are you doing, my friend T-Shroom?
I'm doing better than I deserve and less blurry than I deserve, which is really, really good. I've got a fun little quote here from the man of the hour, who is unarguably Vitalik Buterin. There he is, the co-founder of Ethereum. And he said, instead of putting the taxi driver out of a job, blockchain puts Uber out of a job and lets the taxi drivers work with the customer directly. There you go, the face of innovation, at least over there on the Ethereum side, which is a very big side, especially today. What a great morning. Thursday morning. I do have some sad news just for everybody. I have to go to military drill tomorrow morning, so I will not be able to be on the show. We haven't decided exactly how we're going to pivot to bring you the news, but it'll probably be an exciting little alternative, something fun, something fresh, and that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, so the military, the U.S. Army reserves every right to have my butt wherever they want it. And tomorrow morning, they have my butt in a rural part of Florida. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
That's definitely fun. That's my definition of fun, getting called up to go out to the wilderness and run 6 miles and not sleep. And yeah, that's good stuff. Speaking of a lot of fun in the military, how are you doing this morning, Army Piper?
I'm doing great, and I'm not in the military anymore, so it's wonderful. It's wonderful,
Yes,
and I'm repping the ETH shirt today because you guys know I love my ETH. Come on, let's go. But I'm doing fantastic today, man. I can't complain. Everything is peachy keen and 4K in my world today. So
very nice.
Yeah, I'm curious. Outside, well, okay, so what I'm looking at right now, Aptos, which is not what is Aptos ranked? I don't even know. It's up 5.5%. I'm thinking like top 20 coins. Other than, so Dogecoin is up 4.44% today, but other than that, Ethereum looks like it's the lead. Well, Ethereum is 4.6, so it's technically outdoing Doge right now. Ethereum's having itself a nice little morning, and of course, this is on the side of, like, a lot of people thought that we were gonna have a dip after Shanghai, but
no. Yeah, but you know what? You know what comes after the ETH pump though?
What's that?
The alts. The alts pump right after ETH. So it's Bitcoin moves, ETH moves, alts move. That's the cycle. So let's go.
It's not, just to be clear, not quite alt season. That's another thing.
Not quite alt season, but it is coming. It is coming. This is a sign that the cycles are alive. So
we'll talk more about this. We're getting into some juicy content early with my very blurred face right now. So you guys appreciate that.
I'm going to make you small on Brocam when you do that.
Do it, man. I mean, it's rough. Wi-Fi, Cox Internet. If you guys watch the Investing Bros, do better with your life, especially in the Gainesville area, please. Part of what I'm a little curious about to see how this plays out, because Piper, I think you're right. Historically, when we get an ETH pump, alts are usually not far behind. But here's some things we've seen here recently. First of all, Ethereum, this is the first time we've seen Ethereum proof of stake and for the last couple of months. Then also, when you look and you just kind of do some math in your head, the fact that Ethereum is a deflationary asset right now, it's not just creating a bunch of new coins. It's actually burning coins every single day, but the price wasn't taking off. While we did have some other projects and other coins kind of getting some nice runs, it's almost like I'm more looking at this is Ethereum catching up and doing what it was supposed to do because of the staking being unlocked. And I'm not going to be surprised. I've made this prediction before. I'm not going to be surprised to see both Bitcoin and Ethereum because they are more treated like commodities, even though the SEC and Gary Gensler and then New York Attorney General wants to call Ethereum a security. Most people treat it like a commodity, and it more than likely will be. And I think that they're the two big dogs. Watch them have a little bit of a run. I think Bitcoin outpaces Ethereum, but them both have some good runs here. The altcoins kind of lag a little behind. And then later on this year, maybe early 2024, that's when the real altcoin season starts. But we'll talk more about that later. There's debates to be had. I am a big fan of debates on the show. Let's go ahead and read some names here in chat. And we do have a very, very impressive thing happen this morning.
What's that?
John Kahn was the first comment.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was not right behind him was a Mellow Fellows bot, but the bot got. There you go, right there. That's the quote of the day. The bot got. Mellow Fellow, you can come back tomorrow, try again. But today, John Kahn reigns supreme in the first comment section. So congratulations to him. Out of curiosity, were you able to configure a better bot? Is he using a bot? He said, got my bot today. Okay, there it is. John Kahn configured his bot. That's what's happening. Let's read some other names, though, here. Mr. J is here with the GM. I think a Mellow Fellow said GM as well. So, yes, General Motors is reigning supreme this morning as well. Crypto Set Guy with the blue wrench is here this morning. Yes, thank you for that. Eric Brubaker said fourth, I guess. It's better than fifth. Let's see. Eric Wallen is here. Who else do we have? Yair Navarro is here. Brian D saying, oh, come on. Not even close to first. I'm going to go get some breakfast. Yep, that's a good idea. Get some breakfast there. Let's see who else. Al Bundles is here. I think Al Bundles said I'm tired of the bots. At this point, I think he's retired his bot. Maybe he's working on a new one. But good to see you in here, Al Bundles. Mike Play is here. Justin Eubanks. Let's see what else we have here. Elliot Locke is here, which, by the way, big shout out and big love to Elliot Locke. Today in our bro time, I want to tell you guys a little more. We might have something really cool for Elliot Locke, but he's just, if you guys are thinking about praying about him, I'm not going to talk about it in this one. Maybe we'll talk about it more tomorrow, but he's just an awesome man, putting his family first before his own desires. And he's going through it a little bit. So if you guys want to reach out to Elliot, show him some love and support. He is a day one OG here on the channel. We love him so much, and he needs love and support from the community right now. So love you, man. We're praying for you. Who else is here? Alex Green is here, but I do have to caution him on those all caps. Don't get crazy with it, Alex. Inside joke there for anyone who doesn't know. Crux of Crypto with the blue wrench is in chat as well. Everyone's favorite non-president crypto, Ben Franklin, is here. A couple more, and then we will get into our content. Ninja Glock, Gia S. Who else do we have?
We got Dan C714. He said, new subscriber here. What's good?
Come on, new subscriber. Thanks for being here, man. Crypto JMP is here. Wind Peoples is here. And then we'll get a couple more, and then we'll move on. Crypto Trades. I did see Crypto Archie. Crypto Archie said this is now like a new regular for him. So Thank you so much, Archie.
Heck yeah.
Love having you here. He's coming on again really soon, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the exact date, but watch out for that. Archie's coming back. It's going to be awesome. Elo Brown is also here. And the last one I'm going to read, the next one I see, Crypto Pew Pew Cruise.
I like that.
Love that name. Guys, if I did not read your name.
Kind of tells a story, that name.
It does.
And I don't know how good I feel about that story. But
drive-by shooting.
Yeah, a little bit of violence actions there.
But I got to finish my my line. If I didn't say your name, it's not because I don't love you. It's just time to go ahead and move on with this content. We got 130 people watching right now. Only 48 likes, though. So let's go ahead and smash that like button. Let's get that number up. We are about to jump into it, starting off with Piper taking us down the road of what the macro outlook
guys, they're
looks
saying there's something wrong with the sound right now. Oh, I don't know if they can hear me or not. Let's see if they can or not.
Billy Skills says, I hear you.
They hear me.
I
don't know. We'll see. Give it a second here.
Audio's out. Goodness gracious. Cox.
That's a little strange.
They say it sounds good.
It's chopping. Yeah, they can hear me. Your guys' audio is having issues right now.
Huh.
Cox is struggling.
Yeah.
So
maybe I'll
Yeah, they can hear me good. So go ahead and you guys do what you need to do. I'm going to go start into some TA and look at some macro news.
Cover the economic outlook if you can, and then get into some TA, and we'll be back.
Yep, sounds great, brother. All right, man. Let's go ahead and do this, folks. Let's jump into some macro news, and let's go ahead and get into some TA right after that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the macro news first here, guys. We had info come out this morning. Let's go ahead and put this on my 2-star impact here. Because this is a thing, right? So let's take a look here. This morning we had PPI, big thing, guys. This is the producer product price. This is the how much it cost for companies to produce their goods, right? So taking a look at this right here, we can see that it was currently was at 0, so they were at neutral. It was expected to be a little bit high coming in. They had a forecast of 0.1%, and now it is down 0.5%. So we are looking at a better producer price. What does this mean? This means that the companies that produce goods will actually have higher profits in the next quarter. So not this quarter earnings, but some of these earnings reports that T. Shroom and I are going to be bringing to you next quarter. If this PPI continues, we could see that that the earnings are coming in higher in these companies because it costs less for their goods. And of course, they're not going to drop the price on the goods. They're just going to make more profit on their goods, which just means earning reports, right? So looking at initial jobless claims that came in, those were a little bit higher. So previously we had, last week, we had 228,000 people that had claimed, filed for unemployment. The consensus is that it was going to be at 232. The forecast was at 234. Actually came in at 239,000, guys. So, wow. Yeah, it was a little high there. So, let's take a look here. What else did we have? Core PPI came in, still under for month over month also. So the core PPI came in at 0.1% down. It was at 0.2%. They forecasted it to actually be higher, came in lower. They got it wrong. Like so many times, it happens. Looking here tomorrow, Friday, we're going to have retail sales month over month, see how much they're selling. I would like to see this 0.9 that's forecasted here. That would be nice. What does that mean? That means that the demand has gone down, which means if supply is catching up and demand is going down, inflation should come down. And that is the path that we want to be on to see these Fed rate hikes reverse sometime in the future. So that's what I'm seeing there for those. Let's go ahead and look over at Trueflation, see what Trueflation's saying today. Trueflation's coming in at 4.4% right now. Remember, yesterday, we just came in at 5% for the Fed government. Trueflation actually registering 0.6% below what the federal government is pushing there. And lastly, looking at our earnings reports for the whispers today, big one, Delta Airlines has got earnings reports coming in today. So let's keep an eye on that and see how that works out later on. That is what I got there. Are you guys back live and with me? Let's go see.
Yeah, I think we're good. You hear us good? I mean, my camera is going to be all skewed.
Yeah, your camera's wonky, but what you got there on the FOMC, Tim?
FOMC, we're kind of sitting similar spot we were yesterday here. We got a still prediction we're going to get 25. We got 20 days left, so a lot can still change. A lot of things can happen. But right now we're still seeing the heavy percentage, 63% saying 25 basis points here in May. So nothing really happened there. It's kind of boring. I think it's time to just go ahead and switch over and do some TA really quickly, though.
Let's do it.
We're going to definitely be covering Ethereum. I'm going to have Piper probably go into the meat of that, but I'll just show a couple of things I'm looking at right now. Of course, right now, Bitcoin is hovering right at 30,300. I wanted to show you something, though. This is a tool. Piper really kind of turned me on to this tool. I really hadn't used it before him, and it's called, if you guys go up to this second link over here on the left and you scroll down, I have it now as one of my stars, so I have it now in my little toolkit. Right here, but it's called the regression tool. And the regression tool, do with it what you want. When you put it in an area, it really kind of helps you see where the trend could be, where heavy resistance, where heavy support, where price is kind of flowing. If we were to go all the way back to the all-time high back in November, you can see it really has us in this zone here, falling channel, if you will. But notice, I'm going including this timeline, but we had a breakout happen. This whole push to 30,000 was a good breakout of a long-term regression tool. So this is a massive bullish sign. Even more zooming in here, going down all the way to the hourly chart. And I'm interested to see how this is going to work. By the way, I figured out a little bit how to use this tool. I forgot that if you double click this right tool, you can auto adjust your screen, but then you just got to mess with it so you can loosen up the thing again. So we're breaking out this morning, and you're going to say, Tim, are we breaking out? We're kind of just hovering, getting a flat top. Well, using that exact same tool, that regression, let's go to the high that we kind of peaked out here and go down. I'm going to start before we kind of broke out. Look at what we had. We had a falling level of resistance. Sure enough, our prices are now above it. If I stretch it out, I wonder if it's going to change it that much, or it's going to show, yeah, it changed it to more of a flat level. But this is really important, that if just a couple of hours ago, we were in a falling channel right here that kind of looks like a little bit of a bull flag. If I were to draw a little pole right here, this would give the price, and a shorter timeline because it's the hourly chart, this would give Bitcoin a price that should shoot it up to 32,000. So let's continue to watch how that plays out. But it is something important to note. Let me pull up our market oracle and see what's happening there. We're well above our dynamic reactor. We are using that upper gold band on the hourly chart as support. So this is a big deal. I think this, again, bullish trend right now. We're shattering through levels of resistance. This predictive ranges are just to show you, hey, if we were to keep trading sideways, watch these levels. But in a bull trend or a bear trend, you're just going to be shattering these purple lines, which is the most extended thing. Watch it happen just again. We've been trading between the gold band and then this red line. I forgot what Piper calls it, but it's an upper trade range. Watch as we start to break through. We break through our purple line, head up towards 32, reset our predictive ranges all together. Let's take a look at what we have going on right now on our oscillators. I put this over in our Discord last night. Let's go out to the 12-hour chart. And I want to see further confirmation before I make any glorious, win chance. I don't want to do like war chance of like saying, hey, we defeated it, right? But the 12-hour chart, those of you who have been watching us use Chart Prime, a phenomenal indicator, know that this is one of the things I've talked about heavily. We had a double reversal signal here on the 12-hour chart yesterday. What am I talking about? We had an overbought, that's that orange band, and then you can see the OB right there, plus a red reversal triangle. We also had the ribbons kind of twist right here, right? And we did have two red candles. But I put over on Discord, I said, hey guys, like even though I'm still bullish, I'm watching this because this is a decision point for Bitcoin. If we respect this double, borderline triple bear signal, then it could be big. We could be heading the downside. But if we can start printing some green candles and ignore this 12-hour double bearish signal, that is confirmation of how powerful this bull trend is. And guess what? Right now, that's exactly what we are working on. So is it time to start blasting the trumpets and declaring that this bull run is on and it can't be stopped? Let's see what happens. Let's push up towards 32, go towards 36. But this is a bullish sign this morning, guys, that we're printing some green candles, despite the fact that we did just have two bearish reversal signals on the oscillator. This is the thing about technical analysis. Technical analysis is about looking at all the flashes, taking in all the information, and knowing what that information should be telling you. If your thought is, well, that's bear, it said it was bearish in reverse, and so it's wrong. This sucks. No, it does not suck. In fact, that's one of the cool features about using it is when you see these types of signals rejected, that just confirms to you how bullish something is. Down on the 4-hour chart, let's see what the oscillator is saying down here. Another thing is like, because we're so overextended on those higher time frames, but when you get lower, we're really kind of gearing up on the 4-hour chart and down. We're gearing up for more rallies. We're back down towards the neutral level. We did just get a bullish flash. It looks like that red ribbon, which is currently red, is going to flip here in a second. So a lot of signs here on Bitcoin showing that a pump should be coming very soon. Make sure if you do not have this Chart Prime indicator, you go get it. There's a link down below. It has I love fundamental TA. Love using it, but I'm telling you guys right now, my trading and my investing, my ability to read the charts and predict trends has changed dramatically since I incorporated this. No hate to any other paid indicators out there. There's a lot of great tools out there. I have not found one as good as Chart Prime. That's why we partner with them on this channel. That's why you see so much of their stuff, because I am a big believer in Chart Prime, and you guys will definitely be when you purchase it as well. So let's see what else I want to talk about. Before we go to Ethereum, I'm going to show Ethereum real quick, but I want Piper to go kind of more ham on it. What we're seeing here, a couple of things to keep your eye on, though, that I want to make sure I point out, is that similar to what we saw happen on Bitcoin. Let me go out to the daily chart just to make that a little bit better. We have a megaphone pattern on Ethereum, but we had not really broken out of it yet. Let me kind of flash back to my Bitcoin chart and kind of zoom this in. We've been talking about this megaphone pattern on Bitcoin for a while, because we broke out all the way back here on March 17th, and then we kind of rode this form of resistance level, turning it into support, and finally now were kind of blast off. Well, Ethereum, on the other hand, really hadn't broken it with confidence. We had one wick that shot above, but today we finally on Ethereum have broken through. So do not be surprised. And again, Piper's going to do more, but do not be surprised when we hit our head on 2000 and what is this, 2040, 2031 or so. If we can break through with massive volume, that's awesome. But I also would not be surprised, guys, just if we hit our heads here for a second, come back down like megaphone patterns usually do, retest this rising level of resistance as support, and then we get our breakthrough and start heading up towards 3,000. I do believe that 3,000 on Ethereum is in the cards. I want to hear what Piper says. I'm sure he's not going to disagree with me, but I wanted to make sure you guys were aware that that is happening here. Moving on this morning, I saw someone make a comment in the comment section, but the Dixie is dropping, heading back down to lows that it experienced back here in February. So we're not quite down as low as we've been, but we are heading that way. Keep your eyes on this formation. The Dixie has been in a little bit of a falling wedge here. And I've talked before about the golden pocket sitting down here between about $98.90 all the way down to $98 itself. Could we fall back down to this golden pocket level, find some support, and then this would make a lot of sense, guys. Again, you guys have heard it said several ways. Sell in May, walk away. I've talked about how I think there's a pre-bull market run coming in Bitcoin and even Ethereum, and altcoins will have a little bit of help, but then there's going to be a massive dip. Well, guess what? Wouldn't it make sense that over the next couple of days into May, we maybe have the Dixie continue to fall, but then the Dixie in this falling wedge gets a nice pump, and we see altcoins start to fall before the real bull market starts later. I'm not expecting Dixie to hit new highs by any means, but don't be surprised if later on this summer, maybe late May, early June, we see the Dixie starting to make a climb, but we see this little fall first, and that's part of the catalyst for why Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to have some nice 80% rallies here very, very soon. That's what I'm seeing over on Dixie. Last one I'm going to look at before I throw it over to Piper is Cardano this morning. Cardano broke a very significant level of resistance right here at 40 cents. So does that mean Cardano's just ready to take off and blast up to the upside? I'm predicting that I think Ethereum maybe rallies 50%, 60%, maybe it gets up towards 60 to 70 cents, but don't expect, as much as I love Cardano, do not expect it to outpace Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is not alt season, in my opinion. This is Bitcoin and Ethereum season. And then, boom, it's going to come back down. You'll have some great opportunities to buy awesome prices on these coins before the real bull market starts later this year or early next year. Piper, I want you to go ahead and take it away, though, into Ethereum. I covered a lot of ground there, but I know you have a lot more details when we zoom in on Ethereum. What are you seeing over there?
Actually, Tim, I'm going to jump in and show you one thing on Bitcoin first.
Let's do it. Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
So my weekly chart that T-Shroom loves to watch here so much.
No way.
Yeah. So, guys, I've showed you this before. We've got to get through this dynamic reactor, and once it does and closes above here on a retest, it's going to be very bullish. The reason for this is if we go back and look, anytime that we have been below this dynamic reactor and it's been we've come back up into it here, taking a look right there. There we go. Once we got back above it here and it turned green, we tested it for about a month straight, and then bam, it took off. We won't count the row dip there. But if we go and look where we are right now, yeah, we are pushing hard on this right now on Bitcoin, and it's still holding in there, guys. Like, as long as we can hold in here and don't get a rejection out of this, still very bullish for me on Bitcoin. But the reason that I wanted to show you Bitcoin, like, why is he talking about Bitcoin? He's an ETH guy. It's because ETH has completely crushed its dynamic reactor on the weekly and is now sitting above it. So, I think that Ethereum is set and on its way right now. And I did tell you guys that I'm looking at 2,200 on that fib strategy that I showed you guys, where it was the negative 1.618 was coming in at 2,200. Still watching for that level easily. But however, I do want to say, if I go over and I put this back on let's put this on a 12-hour here, and I will go ahead and pull up some of my overlays that I have, because, I got a ton of overlays. I like my overlays there. Let's throw on my fib retracement. Yep, we had our platinum pocket here. I told you guys we were getting rejected off of this a lot yesterday on the stream. Well, we punched up through there. We are out of this. However, our 1-to-1 line, which is going to be coming all the way back over to here, right there, that is going to be the point, and that is coming in at what exactly Tim said, $2,031.39 to be exact. So 2031 is what I am watching there on a rejection price on Ethereum. I'm going to be curious to see what happens when it hits that level there. And then there was one other thing that I wanted to show you right here. So if you take a look at this right here, we had our bounce on the value area high. I'm going to go ahead and turn off that fib. There we go. Had a value area high here on this entire range of the fixed range volume profile. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Nope, I turned you off for a reason, Guy. Thanks. I'm going to go ahead and grab this, pull this over the rest of the way. And there we go. Yeah, so there's our value area high sitting right there. If we do come back on a retest, I think it's going to be another retest of this broadening wedge here. This is from Chart Prime's Chart Patterns. Giving this right there, that little nice little retest area, but that would be all the way back to 1850. So I'm very bullish on my ETH, but you can't negotiate with the charts, right? That's what I'm going to be watching for a retest point. If it does break that, this right here with the dynamic reactor and the value area high coming in for confluence, going to be extremely bullish. And let's go ahead and throw on the Smart Money Concept Bundle here just to see what we're working with there. Double rejection on the upper resistance line. So this actually would be my first point of support that I would be watching for is 1932. My second one in the range of about 1860, and then ultimately down around 1725. I don't think we're going to get past these two, but things happen, right? So let's do one more thing here, and I want to throw on here and see what we are seeing on the multi-time frame support resistance bundle and see if that's giving us anything. Let's throw on a 4-hour and a daily here. Yeah, we got a daily coming in, guys, right here. This is going to be number 2, so these are rated. 1 would be like these dash lines here. That's the most powerful. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, they get weaker and weaker as they go. So a number 2 is still really strong, right? So we have a daily resistance coming in at $2,095. So if we do get through that 2030, expect about 2031, expect a little pullback at 2031, maybe to retest some previous ranges like right in here, which would be about 1932. So we go up to 2030 right in there. We come down, retest that range, creates a higher low, right? That's what we want in structure. And then we come up, but watch for 2095 for your rejection point. Overall, guys, right now, histogram on the MACD looking very strong for us still. Signal line got a huge push off with the MACD line right there. And then also oscillator, even though we've got a little oversold or overbought up here, we still have a definitive strong ribbon coming up on the oscillator into this bearish zone. So I do think that is going to need a cool off. That's what builds liquidity. That's what creates a healthy market structure. But that's what I'm seeing on Ethereum, Tim. Any feedback on that?
Yeah, no, I think it was great. Someone asked in chat here just a second ago. They said, so has the bull run started? I was thinking about this. This is actually a beautiful scenario. Shout out, by the way, we shouted out yesterday, but someone was asking as well about this. For those who are big fans of Crypto Jeb, where we used to be, he just had his baby yesterday, right? Super excited. By the way, texted him last night. He was so excited. He's doing really good. Him, mama, and baby are doing very good. They are all very tired, though, so keep praying over them. But we are so happy for him. Of course, you guys know my wife and I are not far behind here in about 6 weeks. We should be expecting our first. So great stuff. But this whole thing of babies, it kind of makes me, going back to that question, is this the bull run? Think about it like this with babies. And some of you guys who are fathers or mothers, you guys know about this. Sometimes what happens early is a thing called Braxton Hicks, where your body thinks that the baby's about to come, and then it's not really ready. You go back home, you rest, it's all good. I think that's almost a perfect example for what we're seeing happen in the markets right now. We're going to see so many things happen in Bitcoin, in the Dixie and stuff that makes us think the bull market is back. But it's just bull market Braxton Hicks. We're gonna have some nice rallies. We're gonna have some nice runs. It's gonna feel like we're ready to hit new all-time highs. People are gonna be sold. Here we go. We're going new all-time highs. And then they'll be very disappointed because it just drops back down. We have to wait for a couple more months. Longer than a baby would have to wait to come out after Braxton Hicks. But we'll wait when the real baby comes, when the real bull market comes. There will be a lot more signs and a lot more things. But don't be surprised. Like, even though you guys have been listening to us, I think a lot of you guys agree with us. Oh, yeah, this isn't the bull market. This is just a pre-bull market rally. I want you guys to be prepared because everything in your mind and everything in your body is going to be saying, well, what if this is the bull market? What if this is actually the time that we're taking off and going to all-time highs? But I'm telling you, there's so many things left in the economic outlook. There's so many things that are coming this summer that are going to FUD crypto, FUD Bitcoin. They're going to do their best because we're not yet there where the masses of the world really trust Bitcoin just yet. We're going to need a little bit more pain to happen. We're going to need some more banks to crash. We're going to need some more lies to be uncovered from those who are in the centralized authority positions. The day will come where Bitcoin will hit new all-time highs and people trust Bitcoin more than fiat currency. But I don't think that day is coming within the next couple of weeks or months. We got to wait just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, it is 9:30, almost a minute over. It's 9:31 on one. Yep, now it's 9:31. Let's go ahead and transition, T-Shroom. Let's go ahead and look at our stocks and get our market open over there. It's been open now for about a minute. What are you seeing this morning over there?
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and start with the energy sector. Let's go ahead and take a look there. Natural gas and oil coming in a little bit lower this morning. Natural gas down about 1%, and then oil down about 0.3%. And oil has played a big role in that PPI print that came in favorably. So just, thank your lucky stars that oil was able to stay here down below $80 per barrel. That unfortunately is no longer the case as it pushes up, probably up to 85 and maybe even up higher, depending on how some geopolitical events go, if Biden approves more drilling, and if OPEC can get their panties out of a wad. We shall see. But moving along here, we've got our indexes, and the NASDAQ is leading the way. So a stark contrast to the rest of this week as the NASDAQ is leading. So money rotating into risk, into probably those big tech stocks, as we'll find out here lower on the watch list, and out of security. See how long this lasts. All right, big green on the screen for crypto. It's so often that when everything's green, it's really all green. So there's not a single red name here, at least on this watch list. Let's see who. I think Ethereum's got to be the one leading the way, right? Up 4.4%, Bitcoin up 1.2%. Dogecoin up 420. Look at that. Dogecoin is up 4.20. That's funny.
I wonder if we're going to see a tweet from Elon Musk on just that, and then Dogecoin goes up higher, because that would be right up his wheelhouse of tweets.
Yeah, that is funny. Lido Coin is the newest to my watch list because I staked my ETH on Lido, and we'll get to that a little bit more in our story section here. Tron seems to be lagging in the market, up only 0.3%. They did just get news that they're probably going to be delisted on Binance.us. Metals coming in very hot, getting bought this morning. The metals are. Silver up 1.8%, continues that tear to the upside. Wow, guys. The alternative wealth preservation tools are getting bought up this morning in high order. So as you can see there, man, it is just breaking through all kinds of levels of resistance and just pushing. How long can it last? We shall see. I mean, the chart prime oscillator on the weekly, I am on the weekly, but the chart prime oscillator is saying it has some room to run. So we shall see as those lines do separate there. They're not getting closer.
There was also a beautiful bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence there, and the peak seeker that gave warning that was going up. So,
yep. Absolutely. And that's a very long-term indication right here. So this has been a long-awaited breakout. So we shall see how that continues. Gold has been hit harder, but man, its chart also pretty bullish. If you would have gotten in here back at 1825, that would have been a really good buy around this consolidation point zone here. So right around the dynamic reactor. How about that? Moving right on into our big cap.
Ooh.
Our big cap, mega cap tech
go.
stocks. There's something about that phrase.
Sometimes you don't have time to say the whole sentence. You just got to fit it all into one word.
Exactly.
And we knew where you were going with it. So
yes. And
you nailed it. You nailed it.
At Investing Bros, you're here, you're live, and you're hitting the like button, baby. You're even considering subscribing because this T-Shroom guy, he's a fast talker and he loves his stocks. Coming in, Tesla, lagging the market here down, not down, pardon me, but up 0.9. But that's going to be your lowest print there for your mega cap tech stocks. Their Meta not too far behind, up 1.9%, and then Apple up 1.3%. Now, guys, I usually don't do a bunch of stock technical analysis. I usually just open the charts and just spew some nonsense. Just kidding. I give some education there. But as you can see, the guys right here, there's actually some bearish divergence, as you can see, normal bearish divergence right here on Meta, and it has not stopped yet. It's not played out yet. So as you can see, Meta may be a name to short if you are keen on shorting stocks. This is on the weekly. I don't know if that same bearish divergence has been identified by Chart Prime's oscillator on the daily. It has not. Okay, so that's something to keep into consideration, but it is well above the zero line there, so could have some room to fall. All right, that's going to round out our mega cap tech stocks. I'm going to take another swing at that phrase. And overall, green on the screen for tech. So money rotating into the higher risk assets this morning. And then this is exactly what you would expect. On the flip side, the Dixie is down and the bond yields are up. Not too aggressively there, but the younger bonds are getting are much lower. So down 1.4% there on the 2-year, and then the benchmark 10-year down 0.5 for the morning. All right, moving on into cannabis, you are seeing some buying there, although MJ, the ETF, getting sold to the tune of 0.9%. And then your mid cap tech stocks are pretty green, except for CE3.ai, which is pretty much unchanged. As I'm saying, that is down 0.3%. So we'll keep an eye there. The big one here that we always like to click into and check out the charts on is Coinbase, of course. And on the daily chart, it has hit its head up against that equilibrium yesterday and is looking to hopefully close inside yesterday's candle to maybe have a little bit of bullish hope for a move to the upside. It's well above the dynamic reactor and pretty far away here from the discount range. So I would say that this guy is probably going to come back down and test a little bit lower before trying to make a move back up to this range up above 83. I don't know if it's time yet for that move. And you should definitely note that Coinbase does not move exactly in tandem with crypto, although you may be inclined to think that. All right, your big banks getting sold off and your oil producers getting sold off this morning. So money rotating out of security again, out of the big banks, out of the oil producers, and into risk as investors hope to find better returns after this PPI print. I think that's kind of the big response is buy risk after the PPI print. These producers, these corporations that either manufacture things or whatever they're doing, they are actually able to function on lower cost resources in Q1, and that's going to be reflected on their earnings. Hopefully, we'll see, but will certainly be reflected on their earnings in Q2. So that's going to round out our market open. I'd say this is a pretty bullish open from all indications. The market is really buying up the PPI news and also the CPI data. That's the CPI data hangover, you could say, which in a lot of ways is taken much more into consideration by traders. All right. Well, before we go ahead and dive right on into our stories, let's actually take a second to reflect on some of the awesome partnerships that we have and help you kind of realize some of the opportunities that are out there. So April 26th, it's coming up fast. It's coming up quick, guys. April 26th through the 28th, right around the corner. It's your opportunity to join the most important conversation in crypto and Web3 out there in Austin, Texas, baby. It's warm and it's beautiful weather. It's Consensus 2023. We got 12 days until the tickets go up, but don't fear, don't fret. Don't do either of those things, because in the very video that you're watching is a code for 15% off a 2-day pass or pro pass there for Consensus 2023. You can go ahead and click that link and claim your 15% off those tickets. And you'll notice, yes, there are a lot of other really great links in here, including Chart Prime, Robinhood, Presend, Bitcoin 2023 conference, which I am also going to. And there's no end to the amazing links that are found there in our description. Well, other than that, Tim, I'll throw it back over to you. Is there anything that you wanted to shout out this beautiful, beautiful morning?
Yeah, I mean, so here I'm gonna actually start it off. People were wondering earlier this week, why was Tim gone? Why did Tim miss Monday and Tuesday? There's a big announcement that I'm gonna be making this afternoon in the bro time. So for all of our gold and diamond members, you guys will hear first. Tomorrow morning, I will announce it on the channel as well. But there was just some details and some things I had to make sure squared away and everything works. So if you guys are interested, you guys can join our Patreon. And it's not just that. You won't just get to come in and hear what Tim is doing with his life. some big news for investing bros. You'll also get a lot of great content. Those channels are amazing. The support over there is amazing. Just that community as a whole. So make sure if you guys are wanting to get more involved with the investing bros, go check out those links. Go check out our Patreon. We got some really cool stuff going on behind the scenes. With that said, though, T-Shroom, I think it is time to jump into our news stories and get going there.
Absolutely. Well, we've got some actionable news stories this morning, guys. We're going to start with the big one, our thumbnail cover story. Of course, Ethereum holds steady following the Shanghai, defying expectations. Now, on our show, we did not have any expectations that were defied because our expectations were exactly met. Yes. And it was all thanks to Piper and his ability to really manage those sound effects really well. The adage, buy the rumor, sell the news, often passes for sound fiscal advice. Well, not today or yesterday, because it definitely bucked that trend. In the minutes following the successful implementation of Ethereum's historic Shanghai upgrade, which Wednesday evening enabled the withdrawal of staked ETH by the network's participants, the price of ETH remained largely unchanged, even ticking slightly upwards. Wow. What are the chances? And then this morning it has pumped, as indicated by our thumbnail. So so there's not a ton to report here, but the upgrade completed Ethereum's shift to proof of stake network, in which users stake ETH with the network to validate on-chain transactions and are rewarded for that participation with newly generated ETH by enabling the withdrawal of staked ETH from the network. Guys, go ahead and type in the word Ethereum or ETH if you are a holder of ETH. I certainly am. And yesterday, for the first time, I staked my ETH on Lido. I had been holding it in a different unstakeable wallet for a very long time because I was just like, I don't want to stake into something that I can't unstake. And so yesterday, actually, before the update, it was about 30 minutes before the update, the Shanghai update, I went ahead and staked on Lido. So, and right now, the APR is 4.7. I believe that that's probably going to go down because so many more people are going to stake. But you also have some other names on there you can stake with. But Lido is by far and away the most TVL, the most total value locked. So I would go ahead and choose this option. I mean, I did, obviously. We are not sponsored or affiliated with them in any way other than the fact that I use them. So, Piper, you have some thoughts on this decision that I've made here?
I think that's a great decision, but I do want to show everybody this real quick graph on deposits versus withdrawals here. And let me go ahead and drop my camera down. There we go. So this is ETH deposits versus withdrawals, and you can see that when they unlocked yesterday, this is set in like times. Like here's April 12th, April 13th, right? You can see that massively right off the bat, just big, huge withdrawals. However, in the past couple of hours here, we've had a shortening of how many withdrawals are going on, and now deposits into staking are just rocketing. So it's funny that they unlock it, and what we were talking about last week, there you go. A lot more people may be inclined to stake because it's not locked up forever. So people are staking just like you, T-Shroom.
Yeah. It's time for me to pull out my good old Tim foiled hat.
Okay.
So here it is right here. I gotta get over the microphone and put this right there. Good. Is it good?
It's a good shot.
Good. Okay. This is the time for Tim foiled hat. Logically, I don't know why anyone thought this was going to be bearish. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And that's the reason why we on this channel have been. Those who remember, we've been talking about this since back in January when all the FUD started coming out. We were saying this doesn't make sense. This is going to be bullish. This right here proves that there are people trying to manipulate the price. And here's why. Because anyone who is able to think for themselves, I'm not proclaiming to be the most brilliant person to walk the planet. I feel like I'm somewhat intelligent, but I know there's millions of people more intelligent than me. But logically, this was a bullish event. But it was definitely perceived and personified and spread like it was going to be bad. All the information out there, when you're looking at news sites and you're looking at people who really don't know crypto, but they want to speak about it, they all made this look like it was going to be disaster time for Ethereum, that, everyone who's been staking their ETH for this many years is going to go ahead and just withdraw because ETH is a scam. That didn't make sense logically whatsoever. But what it was is that because we know that markets fluctuate, like when it's when it's FOMO news, it's a buy the rumor, sell the release. When it's FUD news, it's a sell the rumor, then buy the release. And in this case, that's exactly what I'm not even going to be surprised if people within the Ethereum ecosystem are involved with that and saying, like, I don't know, I'm trying to say that they were like evil, but that's like, hey, yeah, like, hey, let's do this. Let's FUD everything so that people think Ethereum is not going to do well. And then when we take off, we'll look like the biggest and baddest and best thing in the world. I don't think Vitalik Buterin or anyone in Ethereum that's in like leadership whatsoever cared one bit that there was FUD going out about Ethereum, because they knew that's not what's going to happen. And so sure enough, like I said, if not that we need a lot more evidence that markets are still manipulated in ways, this to me is just absolute proof. Everyone who thought with their own brain knew this was a bullish event. But if you can get enough millions of sheep to think the opposite, and you can spread some stories and start to create some fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and those sheep just go ahead and sell, oh, that's some big money for whales to go ahead and pick up on a great update to an ecosystem. And that's exactly what I think we're seeing play out right now.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Totally
it's a good
agree.
Take. It's a good take, Tim. Well, there is other news, surprisingly, in the world of crypto this morning. eToro announces crypto stock trading integration with your favorite social media app, Rumble. Just kidding, Twitter. And so this is really, really cool, guys, via a new partnership with eToro, which I don't think Piper or Tim or I use eToro. I'm not a hater of eToro. I think it's pretty cool. But you know, Tim's got some thoughts.
I had some frustration. It's not bad. The fees are stupid, though.
Okay,
I will say that. I don't like the website. I don't like how, and maybe it's just because I got used to how other ones worked, and they're so similar, and eToro is just so different.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, also to eToro, I have not been on eToro in a year, so maybe they've done some updates. But back when I did use eToro, because there was, I don't remember what coin it was. There was a coin. Oh, you know what it was? I had to get Dogecoin. And it was a place I could get Dogecoin because I lost a bet. And so I signed up for eToro, and I hated it. I hated every minute of it. Maybe that's also part of it, is that I was forced to buy Dogecoin using it. So it already was put into my brain as a negative thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, in English, it means e-bull, which is an irrelevant but true fact. Via a new partnership with eToro, users can now make use of eToro's market charts on a range of financial investments simply by searching for the relevant cash tag, usually putting a $ in front of the ticker, like $Tesla for Tesla stock. That's pretty cool. Hopefully you already knew that. If not, you just opened up a world of possibilities for your Twitter fingers. Despite reports that the integration would also include cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, ETH, and Dogecoin, the social media platform has yet to deliver. And then they said that they are checking this with Twitter, so hopefully it will be resolved soon. So there should be crypto available through this system as well. But, you know, that's pretty cool. Obviously, what was going on here, well, not obviously, but kind of my read of this is that, you know, probably Elon has had this kind of plan for a while, or one of Elon's managers has been having this plan for a while to biz dev in a trading app to basically work with them. And, you know, eToro is the one that got the contract. And I think that the reason why is because what is Twitter's biggest struggle? Profitability. Well, eToro has some big fees, and Twitter is probably going to get a little bit of that love and make it a more profitable social media app overall. So, you know, you can't really hate anybody in this situation. eToro, unfortunately, does have some of the higher fees in the space. But hey, you know, this is going to hopefully gain more exposure for crypto, make it easier for people to trade and to hodl crypto there on Twitter. So interesting, overall good.
Someone just said in chat, Ninja Glock said that they delisted ADA over a year ago, but still offer EOS. Is that I haven't been on eToro in so long. Is that true that they don't list Cardano?
No idea. I have no idea. I don't know why they would delist Cardano.
I'm glad that Twitter's integrating crypto, but that would be one more reason why this isn't my favorite update, my favorite piece of news, if they don't offer Cardano as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like it's not the best. It's kind of like when the waitress brings out sweet tea, and it's like it's good, but it's not like grandma used to make.
You know, I think a better example would be if someone says, "Hey, we got you a cake," and you get really excited, and then it's a carrot cake. Carrot cake is good. It's a completely fine cake.
Yeah.
You just weren't hoping for it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. What exchange would you have loved to have seen Twitter integrate with? Robinhood?
You know, heck no. Not Robinhood. I what would have made sense, I'm not gonna lie to you, would have been potentially Coinbase. That would have made a lot of sense. I'm not gonna even say that was might be my favorite either. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of most American exchanges. It's the foreign exchanges I think that allow you to do more. But I like what Brian Armstrong is doing. I like that he is taking on the SEC and Gary Gensler very sternly. And again, are the fees the best? No, they're better than eToro. Also, though, what I love about Coinbase is Coinbase might be the easiest infrastructure for a new person to get involved in. So you kind of trade over. Yes, there's some fees. Yes, there's some things that aren't perfect about it. But Coinbase, I hope people don't underappreciate this, could be massive for crypto adoption because of the ease to entry that it offers. And so it would have made a lot of sense with everything Brian Armstrong's been doing recently, with everything Elon's been doing recently, with the concept of getting more people involved. I think Coinbase would have been a good choice, but you know, I don't know.
Well, you know, my vote would have been FTX, and
oh my gosh,
just kidding. But my vote would have been FTX, and it's looking like it might be a real possibility because bankrupt FTX recovers US $7.3 billion in US assets, considers resurrection of operations. They missed Easter a little bit. That would have been a little bit more on theme. But here we are, guys. Here are some fast facts. This isn't so much as an article as much as just a list of facts, which I don't know if I love or hate. This is coming to us from the forecast.news. So this made its way onto my browser, and we're going to read it. Following the hearing, the price of FTT surged 109% to a high as USD $2.75 from around $1.31. It stood at $2.45 in the morning trading as in Asia. Now, T-Shroom, do you have a live chart of FTT? I absolutely do. Check it out right here, guys. Now, 100% sounds like a lot, but this is still the little grunt nub that has popped itself up, and it's not. I don't even think that it's come up higher. This is the weekly chart. Let me go into the daily. I don't think it's even really come up higher than its previous high down here in the doldrums. So let's check it out. Yeah, it's like matched it, and now it is technically in the dynamic reactor. I'm surprised there's even a dynamic reactor on this chart, but there you go. From a TA standpoint, it's probably not super useful to even look at this. But it's above the equilibrium. But I mean, it was really the story here is zoom out. This is crazy, insane amount of downside. I don't even want to know how down it is. Yeah, 95%. It's crazy. So that's insane. Let's get into some more of these facts here. John J. Ray III, who replaced Sam Bankman-Fried as FTX chief executive officer on November 11th, said in an interview in January that the exchange could be reopened at some point. So that's John J. Ray. He's famous for doing the exact same thing with Enron and I believe Bear Stearns when they went under. So, you know, he's kind of like the Grim Reaper. He only shows up when something's dead. But there's been some things in Europe where FTX has had some favorable outcomes. U.S. federal prosecutors added 4 more charges against SBF in February, accusing him of making unlawful political contributions to influence crypto regulation discussions in the country. And then another one I have highlighted here, Caroline Ellison and Gary Wong, former top executives of SBF's cryptocurrency empire, have pleaded guilty to fraud charges related to the collapse of the company and are cooperating with prosecutors, lawyers in the Southern District of New York, said in December. So here's the question, guys, with this story is, you know, as much as everybody hates FTX and how it would be completely absurd, is there a way in which this organization, this entity FTX, could convince the public that they're under new management? You know, that would be the narrative that they'd have to sell. Or is the name just too tainted? You know, I think that they're not starting off very well, because where the heck did this $7.3 billion come from? And maybe somebody knows, and maybe it's, you know, legitimately sourced, but I think that's kind of the big question. And this article doesn't lead with that. It doesn't kind of show any kind of well, let me read this before I really hit that one home. The failed FTX cryptocurrency has recovered $7.3 billion and is considering the option of restarting. Yeah, it doesn't really say where this money is coming from. So it's strange to me that if you're trying to win back the hearts and minds of your users, why would you just come up with all this money that's probably there? So Piper, I guess I'll start with you. What are your thoughts here? Is FTX doing the right thing here by trying to come back and make it right, or should they just stay dead?
Muted,
dude. I would not touch FTX. Like, they could pay. Hey, we'll pay you 10 ETH to join FTX, but we're gonna hold your Ethereum until the end of the next bull market. I'm not trusting putting a penny in there because I will never see that Ethereum, and I'll never get my money back, man. Like, it's not happening. But the sad part is I do believe that we're actually going to see a lot of the VCs and institutional, Kevin O'Leary's of the world that are going to promote and pump and just rocket this thing as big news because they want their money back. And a lot of people are going to get damaged and hurt in this again, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually agree. Tim, what are your thoughts here on this?
Yeah, I would say it would be interesting to watch how it gets pumped, because what Piper just said, they want their money back. The big players want their money back. People want their money back, but there's no chance we will see snowball fights in hell before we see FTX be a successful exchange again. And here's the reason why. It's not even just how terrible that news is. It is the magnitude of how FTX marketed themselves. Just so you guys know, the reason why this last Super Bowl had no crypto ads was because of FTX. It's going to be a long time before the Super Bowl probably allows there to be ads again, which, by the way, you might be wondering, why are we talking about Super Bowl ads? Well, that's most watched TV all year round. I think the World Cup might beat it out, but that's only once every 4 years. The Super Bowl is the annual largest viewed event. So like advertising on it is massive. And they have said no more crypto. Why? Because of FTX. While crypto has a long way to go before it is in every single household, I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb here and say 90-something% of households in the United States know exactly what FTX is because they know about the Super Bowl ad and they know about Sam Bankman-Fried, and there's not a chance. It's one of those things. It's like their best bet would be to get newer people to come in who don't know the history, but that's the problem is even people who don't do crypto know what FTX is. Yeah. My dad is not a crypto person, been trying. I mean, he's not an anti-crypto person, but I've been trying to get him to invest heavily in it. But even him, like every time he talks to me, he'll talk about FTX. He'll talk about Sam Bankman-Fried. Everybody knows who those people are. It will never go away. They are unable to be a successful business. But Piper makes a good point. Do they get enough funding and enough shout outs to fool a couple of people to put money in there so that all the big boys can liquidate and get out? Maybe. That's an interesting point. I hope not. But yes, if we're going to be betting on success of FTX, heck no. But here's what I also will say. For anyone who's out there saying, "Oh, look at the FTT token, I'm going to go short it." Don't touch it. Do not short it. Do not long it. Do not trade that whatsoever. It's a dead project that is still technically alive, but it is going to be the most manipulated, most unable to read. You won't be able to use fundamental analysis. You won't be able to use technical analysis unless you are an insider in that company and you know what decisions are being made. You will have no idea where that price is going to be going. Do not touch FTT, please. We're not financial advisors, and that's not. If you really just want to go, but do not. Like, please do not. Yeah, do not touch FTT.
Matt C said that Miami Heat removed FTX from their arena a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
so that happened, and then Ninja Glock said that FTX could just rebrand to the Federal Reserve. So,
wow, interesting.
That's funny.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's funny. All right, well, we got a couple more stories here. Just probably going to pop through the headlines. Yeah. Paxos set to end support for Canadian customers next month. This comes as they've been ordered to stop minting BUSD. And then also Digital Asset News reported that Bitcoin's hash rate hit all-time highs as Ethereum's Shanghai update went off without any problem. So that's pretty interesting. Wasn't able to find any up-to-date enough charts to really hit this one home, but this is big, guys. This just means that, miners have not stopped. Miners are still going at it. So that's going to conclude our stories this morning. So really good job, guys. I think today, it was a big day. We got to see Ethereum doing something new and things going the right way, and its price getting rewarded as a result.
Well, go ahead, everybody. As we start to move into our Q&A, we can do TA. We can answer questions about any of these news stories. I want to hear what you guys are thinking. Shout out to Caleb Franzen with the General Motors in chat.
Very nice.
Yeah, GM. There we go. Come on. Thank you so much, Caleb. I love it. Who else do we have here? Ninja Glock saying no thanks for FTX. You'd be insane to want to use that with the exception of removing your crypto. Exactly. Yep. If you lost money in FTX, I heavily recommend going about finding out how you can get that out, because I'm sure you'll at least be able to get cents on every dollar with that liquidation, but don't be putting stuff into it.
That's actually something I was going to say, because I think Crux of Crypto had some coin in there, not a small amount either, but I think that could be a good thing. A good result of FTX coming back out is that I would imagine that it's going to make it more likely that people who had money on there could get it off.
Crux's was Voyager and Celsius. So.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, he got the 1-2 punch, not the 1-2-3 punch.
Whew, that would have been rough, though. I mean, have you heard the stories of the people who they would be in like Celsius or like they're in like Terra Luna, and they're able to get some off, but then they moved it over into Celsius, and then the Celsius thing happened, and they're able to get some off, but then they moved it into FTX, and then it's like the people who got FTX off. It's like, oh, we got the FTX off. All right, let's move it over into oh crap, what's the bank that went down?
SVB.
Yeah, SVB.
Silicon Valley Bank.
Well, no, not Silicon Valley. The crypto
Signature.
There are people who moved. They removed recovered funds from FTX into Signature. I'm just like, that those poor people have just been through the ringer. I mean, who, like, that expression, like, oh, like at least I don't have it as the worst. Like, there's always that one last guy who has it as the worst. It's like, well, those are the people right now. The people that made those exchanges. No one can say they had a worse year than those people.
I think we got to do a couple of drill pops for those guys.
Oh my gosh, drill pops. Goodness gracious. Yeah. Let's see what else is here. Yeah, make sure if you guys want some TA done on any of your altcoin stocks.
Oh, I'm gonna kick it off.
If you guys want us to go deeper, you have something you want to do TA on?
I do. It's not on my chart yet, but now it is. All right. So I wanted to get you guys' opinions on this. I'm gonna be kind of the guy from the chat starting off. This is Uniswap. So Uniswap has been in this kind of tight consolidation here. This is on the daily chart, kind of working itself into what I'm kind of wondering, do you guys think is kind of an emerging pennant? So we've got kind of these lines here lining up pretty well. You could even bring it down to here. And then you've got this guy right here. So one thing that did happen was during the or after the Shanghai update, Uniswap did have a nice little pop today. So the candlestick is up and they're up 2.7% this morning. So, kind of my thoughts here is it's been trading below the dynamic reactor, but very close to the equilibrium here. And it's just been kissing and hugging and snuggling with the zero line for a while, all the way back really since, it had a pretty big swing out of there. But ultimately, what do you guys think about this? And ultimately, is just going to be more bullish or bearish here on Uniswap?
Well, even just looking at your chart right there. So looking at the oscillator, one of the things I love is as we're getting to resistance, we're getting to that dynamic reactor. Look where that oscillator is. That oscillator is not necessarily in a spot of being over rejected. Also, I told you, not that I think Uniswap's going to just blow up the same way I think that Bitcoin and Ethereum could have some really nice rallies. Don't be surprised as you see altcoins just fall behind. So you're going to see Bitcoin go up 10% on the day, and you're going to see the Uniswap go up 5%. It's going to be the opposite of like an altcoin season where, like, again, Bitcoin goes up 2 or 3%, but all these altcoins are shooting up like 10. It's not going to be that way. It's going to be the exact opposite. They're going to be losing ground on Bitcoin, but it's just because they're all going up together. Bitcoin's just doing it a lot faster. I wanted to pull up Uni on my screen as well.
Yeah, Piper, what are you seeing? Muted.
If you're talking, you're muted.
No. I'm seeing what Tim's seeing, and there is no, I really am. So I'm actually pulling up XRP for somebody else, so that's why I'm not pulling it up on mine.
Oh, no worries.
But yeah, it's definitely got some ranges of resistance, but I think that it has more upside than downside for support versus resistances. So,
okay, yeah, it was a lagger, and I was wondering because if you go, I don't know if you're back on my screen now, but if you go to the top 20 coins on CoinMarketCap, and then you sort it by price movement in the last 90 days, then you'll actually, oh yeah, give me a second here. I forgot this is a different computer than I usually use. You'll see that Uniswap is actually, other than the stable coins, which for obvious reasons are going to not be invalidated for this study, but Uniswap is in dead last. So Dogecoin even is up more than it in the last 90 days for the top 20 cryptos. So Uniswap, the question here is this a super sleeper coin that could slingshot back up now that Shanghai has gone through, or is Uniswap going to fall out of the top 20? And I'm actually interested. Let's see which one would be next in the top 20. Let's see. I guess you need to do it by market cap. Yeah. So it would be Cosmos. So that would put Atom into the top 20. I think it's been in the top 20 before. But Uniswap falling down out of the top 20 would definitely be a pretty big deal. So I do own a little Uniswap. I'm down on it. So, I've been thinking a lot about it.
Go to my screen here, Piper, real quick. Here's I want people to be able to understand when you're using Chart Prime, just some things to look at. So first of all, as Piper, this is one of Piper's favorite tools, the concept of using these predictive ranges, and the price likes to stay between these two gold bands. Well, guess what? The gold band has been right where we're hovering, and we're using it as resistance. Zooming in, what T-Shirt was showing, we're even more so right now, we're on the daily dynamic reactor resistance. Let's just stay here for just a second. First of all, after a bear market and we've come down, we have flattened out on the dynamic reactor. A lot of times you're going to see it's like a moving average. You see the moving average start to flow back to the upside, making a little U pattern. But let's go even deeper than this again, because we're using all this resistance. Let's go all the way down to the hourly chart right here. Let me go and mess with this. So on the hourly chart, we're back above the bottom gold band. We're wrestling right now with the blue delta band, the middle point. But I said this earlier on Bitcoin, and this is something, again, even though we talk about Bitcoin every day, I really hope you guys listen to the TA that we'll do on a coin, and then you can take the same teachings and apply it to other coins. What we've had happen here recently, as we're wrestling with this delta, we had a predicted reversal down indicator that is being ignored. We had, at the same time, it was a triple bearish reversal. We had predicted reversal down. We had overbought. We had a red triangle, and yet all this happened on this candle right here. We continue to push the upside. This is massive bullish momentum, and I'm loving that we're seeing it happen at hourly resistance, at daily resistance, because guess what? If we can get this pumping and we can get back above this gold band and get back into a normal trading range, and by the way, I gotta zoom all the way out because this is a massive range. Watch it be able to start coming back up towards the daily chart delta, all the way up at $14. The last time we were at the top range was all the way back in November of 2021. Do not be surprised if we break, as we're breaking these resistances and all this stuff is happening, that we're confirming that a bullish momentum wave is coming, and we get and start turning all this resistance into support. And then there's just a lot of room to the upside. The top gold band sitting here at $22. That is a massive increase right now. Of course, we're at $6. Not that I think this is going to happen overnight. I think a major bullish move. Oh, wow. I mean, I'm asking for a lot, but even just getting back up to the delta is 136, getting back up to that top trade band, 265. This is one of those things right now, we're not even just talking about trading and leverage trading and trying to make some quick bucks. DCAing at a flat level at the bottom of a bear market as the dynamic reactor is flattened out at the lower trade band. This is just nice, easy. Pick it up. Unless you think Uniswap's about to die, which I don't think anyone here is. This is perfect DCA levels,
Crux,
to look for a take profit closer towards $22.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw to Crux in the chat. Let us know, is there any kind of fundamental issue with Uniswap that we should be concerned about when looking at the charts as well? I'm not privy to any information on that, but you might.
We had, while we're waiting on him to answer that, we had a couple things here. King.D said, do y'all use divergences when y'all trade? Army Piper in chat, obviously, he said he does. I in my past, because I've probably had 37 names since I've joined crypto YouTube, some have called me Divergence Tim. Divergence is one of my favorite things to use. And again,
that's called a Timvergence.
A Timvergence, yeah. It's one of those things that's like... I love all technical analysis. I love using formations. I love using support and resistance zones, but I am a stickler. I love oscillators. I love the RSI. I love reading those things. The stochastic RSI. I love the MACD. Well, guess what? When you purchase Chart Prime, and this is another plug for it, but I'm telling you, this is one of the reasons why I love it so much, and why, like, when I started the conversations to become partner with them, I was desperate. I was like, we need to partner with you guys because this is phenomenal. Their calls, when they collect a bunch of different oscillators. When you see these divergences, it's green lines, that's a bullish divergence right there. Red divergence. Let me go ahead and let me full screen this so you guys can see this better. These are taking into account not just the RSI, not just the MACD, not just stochastics RSI, but the mathematical equation is taking in confluence and saying, guess what? We are seeing divergence happen across several oscillators. And so this is one of the coolest features of Chart Prime and the oscillator, which, by the way, I love the overboughts, love the oversold, love the peak seekers, love knowing how to read them. But then on top of that, they throw in, hey, by the way, we're seeing divergence on almost every other oscillator, which makes it 10 times more powerful than just one alone. Yeah, I still love looking, is there bearish divergence, bullish divergence on the RSI? But by just using this one oscillator on Chart Prime, I don't even have to pull up an RSI or a MACD or stochastics. I can just look at it and say, we have a confluence of divergences right now. This is a powerful signal. Now, doesn't mean every single time you see divergence, you trade on it. You still need to use your brain. You still need to think critically and think about trends, because in trends, if it's a bullish trend, you're going to see a lot of bearish signals ignored. If it's a bearish trend, you're going to see a lot of bullish signals ignored. But as long as you know how to read fundamental TA, you know how to use confluence, you understand the importance. Divergences are some of the most lethal predictors of what the trend is about to do. So King.D, the answer is yes.
And just to round that out, there's a link in our description of this very video where you can get a 45% discount off your first month or quarter of Chart Prime and all of its delicious indicators. So make it happen, guys. Make that decision today, and make it quick and make it hastily, and you will not be disappointed.
Munchies. I said Munchies in here said I need to learn TA. Where would be the best place to do it? So just so you guys know, one of the things we are doing right now as we speak, it should be coming out here in a month or two. I'm not exactly sure what the exact date is, but we're building a course right now that's going to be featured within Chart Prime. So when you purchase the course, you'll get some free access to Chart Prime. You'll get some one-on-ones depending on what package you have. And right now, that's the other cool thing about Chart Prime. Again, I don't want to spew like, oh, if you don't have Chart Prime and you have another paid indicator, you're not going to learn anything. I'm not going to say there's not value in others, but what I'm saying is Chart Prime is not only better, it prioritizes education. Like when you sign up, there's live classes that happen twice a week with his name is OC or Louise. Phenomenal. He walks you through the indicators and teaches you how to use them. By the way, all the indicators are based off of to help your fundamental TA. So he helps walk you through TA. We have in our Discord, the Bro Time, we'll answer questions about TA. We do as much education as we can at all times. So you have found the amazing community to do this because there's a lot of features coming out. So between Chart Prime and Investing Bros, if you hang tight with us and you join our community, you will be well on your way to learning. I mean, just if in chat, if you guys are in our Discord, if you guys have been talking with us, let people know more about what happens in our Discord, what happens in our Patreon, what happens over on Chart Prime with some of the content we do. That is our priority, is to help teach people how to think for themselves. We don't want you guys to just come in and look at us and say, oh, well, he did it, so I'm going to do it.
No, Speed just actually said something about, he said where it's at. You know, I know it sounds like a promo ad because we talk about Chart Prime, but you guys, there's nothing out there like it. That's why I joined up with them. That's why Tim and T-Shroom joined up with them. Like they're focused on education. They're focused on teaching you how to look for confluence through multi-indicator analysis. They're focused on teaching you how to fish, not giving you a fish. And most of half our videos that we put out are on traditional indicators, not just Chart Prime indicators, because it's more confluence. We want to teach you guys how to be successful. And it's, any disclaimers for wannabe traders? Yes. Always use stop loss, always use risk management. Don't enter a trade without a plan. All the stuff that we teach every single class. So yeah, guys that are in the, that are viewing right now, that you guys all have tried out Chart Prime, just drop it in the chat. Let these people know it's not just us talking about this. It's absolutely a game changer when it comes to technical analysis. For whether it be for, hey, when do I start DCAing, or hey, how do I enter this trade on a responsible amount of leverage? So,
last thing I'll say on that, we're gonna move on. Someone asked if we can do some XRP TA. Is
I've
also
go
do the research for yourself. Even if you didn't use the discount down below, like you got 45% off your first month with us. just look at the normal price. Like when you have to pay full price, go compare it to other paid indicators. It's the cheapest one there. There's some others out there that people love. They like to use them. Go just if it's just even a price thing, it's the cheapest indicator of all the paid indicators, and it's the best of them all, in my opinion. So that's enough of that. We'll talk more chart prime. We're going to use it here in the TA here in a second, but we'll kind of get back into the stuff. Let's go to XRP here real quickly.
I've got.
Go ahead and share my.
You want to do it? Okay.
Oh, do you have? I mean, you have some? Yeah, I can do it. Yeah. You can do it. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I've already got it up. So, I've been tracking XRP because I'm actually currently in a long on XRP, have been for quite a while, using 2x leverage, responsible leverage, right? So I've been watching it. Right now, we're still trading inside the platinum pocket here on my Fibonacci's, hitting the 786, bouncing off the 886 there. Supposed to be 87. I don't know why it keeps doing that. But anyway, we're bouncing here. We did have a breakout top over here that hit 58 cents and then a nice pullback, settled back into his platinum pocket. As long as it keeps holding this platinum pocket, I'm fine with this. Something I do want to point out, King D was asking about divergences here. We had a hidden bullish divergence that printed back here on the 12th of April on our oscillator. We also got a peak seeker here looking at a 4-hour chart, which would have called right here bouncing up off of the 786. So yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of bullishness. Ribbon twists were coming up in the cloud, got a nice long cloud. Because, a lot of times when we leave that cloud, that's where we get reversals at, right? We've got a really thick cloud going all the way up here, which means this ribbon could really just run all the way up into that, especially off of the peak seeker and the divergence that we printed down there. So, and even when we look at the MACD on the 4-hour, signal line's about to cross the MACD line here, or MACD is about to cross the signal, I should say, and the histogram is about to flip back across the zeros. So, yeah, things are looking good for XRP right now. I actually see XRP making a decent run here. I will check one thing. I'm going to go ahead and throw on one of my previous fib retracement techniques here. We're going to go off of here up to there, and then I'm going to click on that because I want to pull that up as my fib strategy. There we go. And then let's turn off the other one and let's see what we're seeing on there. So yeah, if you look at this, guys, normally what happens with this strategy using fibs is you get a good run up, you measure your 2 points. If you get a good bounce in the golden pocket, and it comes out of this, you're supposed to enter the trade on the 382, not financial advice. Just my strategy. There's a video about it over on Chart Prime. But this actually gives the full breakout target on this up to 80 cents. So, yeah, little interesting there what I'm seeing on that one. So, Tim, I'm going to go ahead and pop it over to you, and you can tell me what you see true there.
Well, yeah, I mean, so something continuing on with something I've been talking about earlier with some other projects. So here's what I'm going to keep my eye on with XRP. So first of all, very, very key resistance level right here at 55 cents. We did wick above it, so that was good, but we quickly came back down below on the daily chart. What I'm watching right here, and it hasn't dipped down enough to that I'm too afraid of this, but we have somewhat respected these bearish reversals. Again, this means that we're in a more of a sideways trading channel right now. We're not necessarily in a bull trend on XRP. The minute the lawsuit gets settled, and it's very much looking like XRP is going to win, this is going to break. It's going to change. But right now we're respecting these levels. So we're still setting higher lows, which is great. We're setting higher highs. We haven't come up. We need to go and break this through finally and come up above and get above 60 cents and whatnot. But keep an eye on right here. This is what I'm talking about. In this case, unlike what we saw happen with Bitcoin, unlike what we saw happen with, we were talking about Uniswap, they're actually ignoring these bearish calls. XRP is still respecting them. So does that mean I'm bearish on XRP? No, it just means we have not seen a confirmed bull trend happen because we are still respecting these signals. And so the way this works is you really can't go all in on this until you see that reverse. We're expecting the bullish signals to be fair. Notice we're higher. We're higher than the midline here. We're higher than the zero on the oscillator. But what I would love to see happen is a ribbon twist, maybe even if we have a little bit more of a dip on XRP, another bullish flash, and then I actually want to see the oscillator get overextended. I want to see us say overbought, but then we continue to move to the upside. That watch out when that happens out here on the daily chart. Watch XRP just start ripping, because like a spring that has been suppressed for literally 3 years, when that spring is released, when the SEC finally loses this lawsuit, that spring is going to be explosive. I know some people are predicting this next bull market, XRP could reach upwards of $30. I think it's a little rich for me, but just so you guys know, I am looking at 15 to 20. I'm gonna go ahead and say $17 for XRP.
I'll be happy with just 10.
I'd be happy with just getting back to $1 for right now. But what I'm saying is, do not be surprised with everything that XRP does, and it's not going to kill Bitcoin. It's not going to kill Ethereum. There's room for everyone, but XRP absolutely could be. XRP could be the coin of this bull market, the 2024, 2025 bull market. We're going to look back and say, what was the biggest? What was of the top 100 coins, top 50 coins? What was the biggest gainer? I'm not going to be surprised when we look back and we say it was XRP. So that's something that's like, hey, could we dip down a little lower? We could, but if I was you guys, non-financial advice, start looking for good opportunities to invest in XRP. And I'm not necessarily hating what I'm seeing currently.
BitBoy just made that comment too on his show yesterday. He said that, ETH was going to, he said ETH is poised to move into the #1 market cap in crypto, but he said it will not be the biggest gainer. He said, in his opinion, XRP is going to be the biggest gainer of the next bull run. So,
Interesting.
Hinging on, SEC law.
Of the top 50 coins.
Yeah, of the top 50 coins. Right. It's, obviously there's some small caps out there like Crypto Archie's grabbing and pulling out of thin air, with the good research that he's doing that could really just crush some gains. But by the way, Crypto Archie did confirm he is on for next Wednesday for TA Talks. So that's another thing that we have in our community for Investing Bros Patreon and for premium members on Chart Prime, as we do a TA talk. It is an exclusive benefit and perk for both communities' premium members, and they get we bring in guests all the time. Like yesterday, we had Drew Wolfer in there, which will be on the show tomorrow. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He will.
And then next Wednesday we'll have Crypto Archie. So very intimate, close up, one-on-one, where you can get to talk to these people and stuff, and not just watch them on YouTube inside of our Discord community. So,
absolutely. What was I going to say? I think going back to XRP for just a second, then we can move on if there's other coins or other questions you guys have. This timing is going to be borderline just perfect for XRP. I know no one wanted to wait for it for 3 years, but guess what? When it finally gets released, guess what also is going on right now? The crashing of banks. What is XRP? What has it been accused of in the past? Being a banker's coin. Now, people have said that it's a bad thing, but it's not. It's actually it helps smaller banks compete with bigger banks. How perfect of a timing for XRP. Not only has it been suppressed, not only is it going to be released right before a real bull market starts again, it's also happening where economically banks are struggling. How many banks are we going to see adopt and start using XRP and using Ripple to process payments? I think, again, $30, a little high for me at this point, but as also, I can't say that there's no way. It absolutely could be. Things could get very explosive for XRP. And despite the fact that it's been suppressed for 3 years, it might end up working out to be a perfect scenario that they're released all of this in the economy is happening. King D said, are the TA talks recorded so people could watch later date? I don't think so.
As of now.
Yeah, as of right now, no. So you got to be in there, and it's every Wednesday from 1 to 2 Eastern Standard Time. They have been great. Like, and yesterday we worked with Presend, talking about all that. Next week we're going to probably be talking a lot of altcoins with Archie. The first week we just kind of talked about trades that just didn't go well and how to respond to trades that didn't go well. So
yeah, sometimes it's us just telling hey, we make mistakes too. So
yeah,
it's a good time. I love TA Talk. It's one of my most chill, relaxed things that I do all week long. It's just hanging out in there, and Tim and I do it, and then T-Shroom and I are going to start being in there and talking about some other things. So it's going to be good. I enjoy TA Talks, so it's good.
So this one, if you're able, Piper, to look this one up, Drew P said, "Are you guys able to see new support on GRV token? Keeping in mind that they just launched their own blockchain on the 10th."
What is their chart history like? Because if they don't have any chart history, it's not going to do.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to.
Correct.
It's Gravecoin, right? It's not a lot of history.
Is it Grave or Gravity?
Well, or Grove. Sorry, what man? GRV. He put in the ticker symbol GRV.
Oh, they got some history here. We got some history here. Yeah, I got you, bro.
Man, which one? There's the Graviton.
So I'm looking on BitGet at GRV USDT.
Hopefully it's the right one, because he said that it went live on the 10th.
Yeah, so, I don't
well,
know.
Their blockchain did. It's Grove token, he said. but it's still
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, I'm guessing this is it. I mean, they may have just launched their own blockchain, but the token may have been around for a while, you know? Okay, he said, yeah, this is it. So, yeah, taking a look here. Guys, remember, we don't typically trade inside of this band here on the predictive ranges. This is from the Smart Money Concepts. I mean, we got a perfect wick off of this. It's barely fighting to hold on to this dynamic reactor. I would not, MACD, like histogram, it could get a pull up here, but I would not touch this until I've seen some activity on it, because this here definitively looks like a rug pull. So yeah.
It looks like excitement that then everyone took profit and is selling off. It is good that it's hitting dynamic reactor and getting support at the same time from the oscillator with being oversold. But Piper, you're exactly right. And here's another thing, guys. Like, if this was Bitcoin or Ethereum, very established, been here for a while, that chart might not look that bad because we know more longer term about it. With this being a newer token, with this being younger, with this having that same appearance, these are the types you definitely. I don't even recommend trying to get the pinpoint bottoms and tops on Bitcoin. I'm a big fan of choosing good spots, not perfect spots. But especially when you start going down the degen rabbit hole and you start looking at smaller, newer projects, you don't think you're going to buy the bottom. Someone else will, and they'll make a lot of money on it. But the risk of it just doesn't. The risk outweighs the reward on coins like that. Wait for confirmation. Don't buy a prediction of a reversal. Wait till we see confirmation there is a reversal. So to answer his question, Drew, yes, there is support coming in. The question is, will it hold? And it is not an easy task to say yes to that question. Yeah, you absolutely want to hear yes before you invest in that.
I'm seeing something else here too. So you can see that we were in this from our chart patterns. It's auto printed chart pattern here. It's a fallen broadening wedge. And what happened here is we got this confirmed breakout on it. That's this red print here. And then it got perfect retest on it before the run up. But if you would have gotten into this when inside of this trade band on the bottom of the trade band here and caught all of that, that would have been an absolutely crazy run up off of this lower trade band. I mean, you're talking like 40 to 70%, depending on when you would have got out. So it's there. But what's concerning me about this is that we're now pulled back underneath. We failed to retest on this again. So this is bothering me. I think we're actually going to be coming back to the 65-cent range.
Would you rather buy this or FTT token?
Oh my gosh.
This, yeah. This, I'd rather buy petrified beamer poo from Tim's backyard than to buy FTT.
Would you rather take a hammer to the nards or buy FTT token?
I'm going to have to say FTT token. I would rather lose money than to lose that. So.
Oh my goodness.
And to lose your nards.
My nards, yes. Gracious. Yep.
Yeah. The nards have been through too much to be stopped now just because of a token.
So Drew said he was in below that. Drew, congratulations. Good job on that, man. If you caught it that low. What I would do is I would take those profits and I would find some stronger projects right now. That not my financial advice, but that's what I would do.
I think if you're looking for higher risk, like tokens like that, I would go Uniswap or Atom, because Uniswap and Atom are they're underbought over the last 90 days, and they may not come back, but I think that there's a reason why they're delayed, and the market is going to value those laggards.
I agree with Crux. I would look at Illuvium. It's got a little bit of higher risk. If you're looking at high risk, high reward, Illuvium's got a much lower risk and a much higher reward than some of the other top 20, top 30s. So,
interesting.
And hey, Drew, you see Crypto Archie in here all the time, and he comes on the show all the time. Check out Crypto Archie's channel. That guy is a genius when it comes to finding small caps to get into. So check his show out. So he's going to be in our TA talk, and he'll be back on our show here before long again. So good place to get some more of those small caps that you're looking for. So.
All right. Well, guys, it is time to go ahead and wrap out the show for today. Thank you to everyone who asked some questions. Make sure you guys tune in every single day. The last half hour or so is kind of really helping you guys out, just like we did today. I thought that went extremely well. But that is all we have for you guys in today's show. We will be back tomorrow, joined by Drew Wolfer from Presend. You do not want to miss it, especially if you've never heard of Presend. It is a tool that could absolutely change your life if you're constantly moving crypto around. Give you that peace of mind. We love each and every single last one of you. We'll see the Gold and Diamond members today at 3 o'clock over in Bro Time. You don't want to miss it. Love all of you guys. See you tomorrow. You guys have a great day.
Peace.